Good morning. So I don't know about you guys, but it is beautiful and gorgeous here this morning in the Pacific Northwest. The sun is shining. It's lovely outside. And everyone in my household woke up and is in a fantastic mood today. And I'm sure it has everything to do with the sun. So sometimes, hi Ruth, good morning. Sometimes the sun just makes all the difference in the world. Hi Jennifer, thanks for joining. So today I have a lot of information to cover because this is a big one. So this week I've been talking about the 7 steps to how you can create an ultra functioning brain. And today we're going to talk about step 4, which is fixing your gut. Now you may not think that that has anything to do with your brain, but your gut has a huge impact on your brain. And so they actually are very symbiotic. And one of the things that I learned that I thought was so interesting about the brain and the gut connection is that when you are in utero, there is a cell that divides and half goes up and becomes the brain, and half goes down and becomes the gut. That is how closely connected they are tied. And they, of course, are tied through the vagus vein, which we will get into here in a minute. But I just wanted to ask, are you the walking unwell? Like, do you just have this vague sense of not feeling right? Just feeling off. Have you ever just told someone you're just kind of feeling off today? That is your gut biome out of balance. And the other thing you're going to learn is that your gut impacts your feelings. So literally we can eat our emotions, which is why when we're having emotional issues, we tend to stuff ourselves with food because they're so intricately connected. So, of course, I've been studying all these doctors and listening to their talks and things. And so I always pick up little nuggets from the doctors that I listen to. And Dr. Dale Bredesen, who is, in a lot of ways, he's kind of like the grandfather of this new idea for Alzheimer's research, which is that Alzheimer's can be prevented and that it can be treated through functional medicine. And so he says that your metabolism, as your metabolism goes, so goes your brain. So if you have a slow functioning metabolism, guess what? You have a slow functioning brain. So it works the same way. Again, that gut brain connection. And then Dr. Mark Hyman, also a big Alzheimer's researcher, says that most brain-related diseases, actually most of any diseases, start in the gut. So if you don't have a healthy gut, you're really not doing your body any good because it goes throughout your whole body. And then Dr. Perlmutter, he's a renowned neurologist and the author of the book, The Grain Brain. He says that when you have an imbalance in your gut, you will almost always experience anxiety. So if you've got a lot of anxiety in your life or you feel yourself feeling anxious, that is a really big indicator that you have an unhealthy gut and you need to fix it. So that vagus nerve that runs from the brain to the gut, it's, I mentioned yesterday, it's like a two-way highway of information, but really from the brain to the gut is only 20% communication. And I'm going to just tell you what it does because so it sends information from the brain to the gut. It basically signals, the brain signals to your organs to create an inner calm so that you can rest and digest during times of safety or to prepare for fight or flight in a dangerous situation. So that's what the brain is communicating to the gut. In reverse, the gut is communicating 80% to the brain And it is talking about, it updates the sensory information about the state of the body's organs, and it communicates our emotional state. So, I literally just had this conversation with my son this morning as I was taking him into work, that our food, what we eat, affects our emotions. And if you're having trouble with your emotions, maybe you need to look at your diet and see what you're eating, because you can cause yourself to feel depressed. You can cause yourself to feel sad, and you can cause, all these emotions because of the food you eat. So if you want to eat healthier and eat better, you will probably start to have a better outlook on life. It's just an interesting thing. So, did you know that we are only 10% human? I love this fact. So, 90% of our cells are non-human microbial cells. And since our diet influences our microbes, it is true, we really are what we eat. The good news is that you can cultivate a new microbiota, formerly known as your gut flora, in just 24 hours by changing what you eat. Bacteria that live in our intestinal tract, also known as our gut bugs, flourish off of colorful plant-based foods. So you can literally change your gut in 24 hours. That's brilliant news. That's awesome. Hi, Debbie. Oh my gosh, I miss you so much. I would love to just have some time to chat with you. Thank you for jumping on and joining me. So, how do we get a healthy gut? Well, here's some things you can eat. So, broccoli and other cruciferous vegetables like kale, cabbage, cauliflower. So the benefits to that are that they help you cultivate that new microbiota. And when they're processed in your body, it releases a substance in your body that reduces inflammation and reduces the risk of bladder, breast, colon, liver, lung, and stomach cancer. So it's really important to eat those cruciferous vegetables. Get them in your diet. Blueberries. Who doesn't love blueberries, right? I love blueberries. So they can modify your microbiota and enhance your immune system. So definitely want those, right? Because that really will help keep your immune system working well. Bananas, they fight inflammation and they stabilize your gut bacteria. So green leafy plants. So this, when you eat more of those, it maintains your microbiota diversity. So it allows, we have like trillions of microbial bacteria in our stomach. And so we need a lot of diversity. And so what you eat, believe it or not, you can eat something and it can kill off some of the bacteria or feed some of the bacteria. So we need to make sure that we're eating healthy foods, because those foods support a healthy gut. And then, when we're eating the crappy foods, it actually is killing off the good stuff that's helping us stay healthy. So we need to, you need to eat those good green plant foods. And also they help you have a clearer mind and a happier disposition. Again, back to the fact that what you eat really does affect your mood. And of course, fermented foods. So this has been around for eons of time. People have eaten fermented food, and it's actually really, really good for you. So kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, pickles, kombucha tea. Although something to note about kombucha tea, it actually has a higher content than a high content of alcohol because of the way it's fermented. So if you are someone who has an issue with alcohol, stay away from kombucha tea, because it's just like drinking. So don't go there. Things not to eat if you want to have a healthy gut. So obviously, sugar and processed foods. A new study in Oregon State found that a diet high in sugar caused changes in the gut bacteria, impairing the brain's ability to adjust to changing situations, which is what we call cognitive flexibility. And the change in the gut bacteria also negatively affects the brain's long-term and short-term memory. So by eating sugar and processed foods, we are having more trouble thinking and adjusting to situations. We are having more trouble remembering things. So who wants that? Like, I don't want that. You know, life's hectic enough as it is. I don't need to make it worse by eating the wrong foods. So red meat and animal products. The microbiota of omnivores, compared to that of vegetarians and vegans, produces a chemical called TMAO that is associated with heart disease and is a product of the microbiota metabolizing that chemical that's found in meat. So here's a plug for all the vegetarians and the vegans. It is actually healthier for your gut to not eat meat. Now, that doesn't mean you can't eat meat. It just means that your immune system and the gut bacteria has to work harder to stay in balance if you are eating meat. So that's why these diets that are heavy on the fruit and vegetable side do so well for the body, because your immune system and your gut needs that to be healthy. So definitely think about, your meat content and how much meat you're eating. I mean, protein is still good for you. It's just a matter of balance, right? You don't want to sit down and have a whole plate of ribs. You want to sit down and have a whole plate of salad and veggies and a small portion of ribs. So here's some things that you can do. So limit your antibiotic use. Antibiotics are good. They get prescribed for a reason, but according to several doctors, we are overprescribed antibiotics. And regular use of an antibiotic kills the diverse community of microbes in your gut. And the collateral damage of that is that it kills good strains and bad strains. It doesn't differentiate. It just, it's like going out for target practice, right? You're there with a gun and you're shooting for target practice. You're just shooting at the target. You don't care whether that's a good target or a bad target. It's just being done. So that's what's happening when you take antibiotics. It goes into your system and it's just killing everything off in an effort to get rid of whatever virus or something that you have going on. So it's not healthy in any way, shape, or form. Get dirty. Soil has wonderful healing elements that we need. And gardening or weeding can serve as a way to boost our immune system. And we should be also avoiding antibacterial soaps and alcohol-based sanitizers, because they function like antibiotics. They just kill off everything. It doesn't matter whether it's the good bacteria we need or not. So the less you use those things, the better off for you and the better off for your immune system, because it will get stronger and healthier. And of course, lower your stress. If you are stressed all the time, your immune response never stops sending inflammation signals to the systems in your body. So the less stress you have, the better off you are, the more your immune system settles down, the more your gut feels better. And who, when they're stressed, doesn't, feel that like tightening in their stomach, that feeling of anxiety that hits, right? Well, that is your immune system screaming at you to get out of that state, that you need to, find a place of calm and safety. You should do a regular cleanse. So if your body, so we have a cleanse, and it's probably the best cleanse I've ever seen. So it's very soft, gentle, mild. You're not tied to a bathroom, but it helps your body start digesting the first day you take it. Like, it literally starts working to help your body digest food better. And it helps you absorb the minerals you do need while eliminating the toxins that you don't. So I highly suggest being on a regular cleanse. And if you want to know more about our cleanse, just tag me a comment and I'll definitely share that information with you. And then last but certainly not least is you should be taking a prebiotic, probiotic. So it's really important that you have that to help supplement your gut health. And the reason it's so important now is because we live off of a standard American diet, which is crappy, and we aren't giving ourselves really what we need. And the less organic we eat, even if it's vegetables and salads and things, if we're not eating organic, we're actually not getting the natural microbes and bacteria and things that come on the foods. And so we're not developing that diverse biome in our gut that makes us healthy. So you need to make sure that you're supplementing and giving yourself those prebiotics and probiotics. So we have a prebiotic or a probiotic, I should say, that also has a prebiotic in it. And it provides 6 billion CFUs of healthy bacteria to your system. It restores your gut flora with healthy bacteria. It restores your gut integrity, because I'm sure you've heard about a leaky gut. So basically your gut walls get thin and the toxins leak from your gut into your system. And so you definitely, leaky gut is bad. If you look up all the symptoms from a leaky gut, you don't want any of it. And then Wellmune, which is patented for us, is a clinically proven ingredient to support your immune system and keep you healthy. It features BioTrack, which is a patented, unique, controlled release technology, delivering the probiotics throughout the day and deep into your digestive system where it's really needed. So it gets past the stomach, because a lot of them don't. And they don't ever make it past the stomach and into your intestines, where they actually need to be to help you have a healthier gut. And it helps improve the tight junctions and the communication between your brain and your gut to signal that you're full when you're full. So, again, it's so important to know that if you want good brain health, you have to have good gut health. And actually addressing good gut health helps you body-wide, because your gut is sending communication to your brain that says, this is how all the organs are doing. This is how everything's functioning. And these are the tools we have to deal with what it is. So as you eat and drink, your body's taking it in, it's processing in it and going, okay, this is what we've got to work with. And these are all the problems going on in the body. So we're going to have to figure out how to make this work. That's basically what's happening. And it's telling the brain, and then the brain takes that information and communicates to the organs what needs to be going on or how to process. And so our gut is super, super important to health in general, but to brain health specifically, because the vagus nerve that is tied from the brain to the gut, which literally it is a communication system, and it has to be maintained. You have to maintain your good gut health. And, back to what I've said, like, I never learned health. I never learned how to be healthy. And I'm on this journey learning. Like, I can't tell you that I'm perfect. I can't tell you that I practice this every day. I can't tell you that I make, great choices, because I don't make great choices. I had chocolate cream pie last night for dessert. And, it's just life, right? But life is about making choices and learning and educating and trying to do better. And so, everyone's got to start somewhere. So maybe this isn't the best place for you to start. Maybe you need to just start with, day one, which is learning how to optimize your nutrition. You know, maybe you need to learn, you know, day two, maybe you need to focus on how to cool your inflammation in your body. There's all kinds of things, you know, 7 steps here, people, that I'm going to go through for you to have an ultra brain and an optimal brain. So, you know, you got to start where you are and learn how to make changes slowly, because I firmly believe that we get all ramped up to make these great changes in our life, and then we get overwhelmed by the changes and what that means. So if you really want to make changes, I suggest you start small and do a step at a time. You know, for me, how I started drinking more water every day because I knew I wasn't drinking enough water, and I committed to walk around my neighborhood every day. Like, those are 2 small little things, but in those changes, it then became easier to make an additional change and then an additional change. So you have to start where you are and be okay with where you are. Just know that your health is in your hands. It's in your control. And whatever you do for yourself is worth more than anything else, because without your health, you don't have anything. So I love you guys. I hope you have a healthy, productive rest of the week, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.